You are now listening to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio. My name is John Sarge.
And my name is Christian McGann.
If you like action figures, toys, collectibles, you have come to the right place. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're finding us for the first time, we're glad that you're here. We have an awesome show lined up for you guys. This might be the one I'm the most excited headed into it. We are going to do our Power 5 figure draft. And we're going to start with G.I. Joe Real American Hero. And I know you guys feel very adamantly about this. So we're going to each draft a 5-person team of G.I. Joe Real American Heroes. And then you guys are going to tell us who won that draft. Are you prepared?
I'm prepared.
You've been studying?
I've been studying. This is what's funny about it is John and I, in discussing this topic on the way to Target to go look at toys, we were like, what if we did something different? What if we stepped away from the normal Marvel and DC and we went to something in even almost greater powerhouse, which is G.I. Joe, which is really what we have not talked about a ton. And there are massive, Joe fans out there. So we figured for me, I would challenge myself because you're definitely more familiar with like the G.I. Joe lore and the characters. It was just before my time. So it was cool to be able to dive in and just learn more about it.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to do that. We got our Toy Soldier Figure Flashback, which, total coincidence, happens to be about Joe's.
Awesome.
We're going to definitely tell you guys the news for this week, which is pretty hefty, honestly. And then we've got our hit lists making a return, which is figures or toys or collectibles that we are looking to track down that fits collections that we've already begun. So yeah, that's kind of what we have got in store for you guys today. Make sure you guys are subscribed and make sure that you leave us a review. It is really, really helpful for the show, helps us out in the algorithm, helps us get seen by more people and heard by more people, helps us grow, and the more that we grow, the more we can do things like group toy hunts, videos, giveaways, all that sort of stuff. So the ball is in your court. You have got the power, to quote He-Man, and just hit that review button because we would really, really appreciate it. Okay, now that that's out of the way, Christian, what have you been up to this week?
Of course, the same old, kind of actually. My shoulder's been hurting bad this week. I don't know, I slept wrong on top of just taking 2,000 swings in the cage a week. So today was the first day returning to go hit, and that felt really good. But before then, every day this week has been challenging because I feel like I am like, what do I do and who am I? But outside of that, it was good. We played a game last Saturday, and we've been having some like insane offense type games, right? So this one we beat them like 15-4. The one before that was
Good
15.
Lord.
Yeah, 15-3.
Drumming and a half.
And then 17-3 the last 3 games that we played. So these teams are reaping the hurricane that is the South Austin Parakeets. So
if you guys can hear lightning and thunder, we didn't add that in post for dramatic effect. It's
I know,
just
it's what I'm saying. It's got lightning behind it.
it's just what's going on in Texas today.
So during the game, you practice, you see yourself get better, you feel awesome about it, then you step up to the plate and you strike out back to back.
Yeah.
And I don't strike out a ton. So you could only imagine the level of spiral that I had to...
Sent you into a dark place.
Exactly. I had to get out of my own head while I was at the game, after the game, the day after that, and then, yeah. So it was challenging, but I had a good day. I'm a first baseman, so I had a really good defensive first base game. So I was pretty, that was like random because going into it, I was like, man, I haven't done like any glove work. And so I feel like my defense, it might suffer a little bit, but instead it was the opposite. It was like I struck out twice. It was like I was really aggressive. I was just trying to hit nukes. And instead it was almost like I was being attacked by hornets and I was swinging at them, and that was the ball, basically. So swinging at balls way out of the zone. But anyway... but outside of that, man, I don't watch a ton of movies. You watch a lot of movies during the week.
I watch a lot of movies. You guys can follow me on Letterboxd, Sergeant John 13. I rank and review everything. I'm very, very active in movies.
You're not really a streaming guy anymore.
I am pretty actively opposed to movies created by streaming services. I feel like they are of a lower quality that is beneath me. And I'm not afraid to say that.
No,
publicly.
you're fair. I mean, it's like we live in a time right now where, like, in the same way that movies are, where I still haven't watched Fantastic Four. Like, obviously I have my bone to pick with Marvel, but it was just like, I could miss that. Where if this were, 15 years ago or whatever, I would have been first in line.
Yeah.
Same thing with TV. There are shows out there right now that theoretically make the most sense for me to be fired up on, and I'm like, maybe I'll get to it sometime.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like having that abundance, but also just like that desire just isn't there. But yeah, watched the movie earlier this week and returned to it after about, I don't even know, maybe 15 years of having not watched it. And that movie was Beverly Hills Ninja.
Where the heck did that come from?
Well, I was like trying to find a movie. My girlfriend and I were trying to find a movie to watch, and I was like, I just need something simple. I need something simple, brainless, easy, and entertaining. A lot of times when I'm like sitting down to watch a movie, I'll just put my phone on the charger because I just like I want to be there. I want to be in it.
Same.
And somehow, I don't even remember, we were looking at like another Chris Farley movie. I think it was Tommy Boy. Yeah, it was Tommy Boy. And then I was like, actually, you know what? I feel like I saw Beverly Hills Ninja somewhere. And so found it, and I was like, oh, okay. And dove into it. Dude, I love that movie then. I love it even more now.
I might have to go back into it. It's got the dude from Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah, Liu Kang. Yeah.
And his magnificent hair.
His hair, man, dude, that movie is so funny, man. I was dying. It is exactly what it needed to be. Like, there couldn't have been a better idea to just do a Chris Farley movie. And what's funny about it is, like, I remember at one point I was dressing up like a ninja for Halloween for like 5 years in a row. And I remember specifically seeing myself in the mirror and realizing that I looked like Chris Farley.
I was about to say, you're probably maxing out that ninja costume by year 5.
I'm telling you, I was like, I'm looking at it, and like the way he puts on the first costume, it's just is like he's fat, so it's just like he looks like a starfish essentially. And I was like, man, I remember like it unlocked this memory of me being young, like a young chubby kid, and being like, dang it, I look like Chris Farley in Beverly Hills Ninja. and I was like, I either
and you're like, that movie's awesome.
It is awesome, but I was like,
I look great.
So there was a thought that crossed my mind, which is just like, all right, well, I guess I can just be like the fat, funny friend. You know what I'm saying?
Aww.
And then like have like that. But it was like, but I was also very agile. He's extremely agile. He's doing cartwheels all over the place.
Chris Farley's a world-class athlete.
Dude, that was hilarious, man. So I watched that, and I was like, that was God tier. Like whatever I would write if I was writing a Chris Farley Ninja movie pretty much happened. Like him bending down to like get in a fighting stance and just behind him and it just ripping all the way down is amazing. And then I watched Tommy Boy, and I was like, Tommy Boy is funny. I don't know how to.
I feel this week's sacrilegious Christian comment coming on.
Here it comes. I don't really know how to say this. It's like Tommy Boy is a comedy movie, but Beverly Hills Ninja is a funny movie.
Okay.
And I don't really know how to like break it down, because I think certain types of people, like I think it would be divided into factions. Like I think some people probably don't like Beverly Hills Ninja as much as they like Tommy Boy. And I've heard Tommy Boy quoted way more than Beverly Hills Ninja. And I'm watching it and I'm like, I think I maybe laughed like once or twice in it.
In Tommy Boy?
In Tommy Boy.
Who did this to you?
But I think it's like, and I've said this before, it's like what makes a kid laugh is what's going to make me laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like with Tommy Boy, it's like, it's more grounded. It's more of a movie. It's like, hey, we're doing this movie about a father and son relationship where he's trying to prove himself and that these hilarious hijinks just happen to happen along the way. Beverly Hills Ninja starts off where it's like he's 25 years old. And it's like, no, he's not. And then it's like the legend of the white ninja.
For you, it's definitely the dumber the better.
Yes.
Have you ever seen Almost Heroes?
That one I've only seen chunks of, but I definitely need to watch
It's
that.
in your wheelhouse.
Okay, well,
It
there
is
you
a
go.
fantastic movie.
There you go.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so that was kind of my takeaway. I love that. I love Beverly Hills Ninja. I thought it was A plus.
Next time we do Build a Line, you're doing Beverly Hills Ninja.
I mean, for sure. I mean, I see nothing wrong with that. Dude, it's just like rewatch it, and you'll.
You don't have to twist my arm. I love Chris Farley, and if I've ever watched it all the way through, it's been 30 years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So you are almost dude.
It'll be completely fresh to
hibachi
me.
scene.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh my god.
It'll be totally fresh to me. I feel like I have a pretty good knowledge of Chris Farley's library. I'm trying to put some class on it.
Yeah.
Aside from that one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's like a strip club scene, and I didn't really get it back then or whatever. But there's like, I mean, I won't even spoil it, I guess. But yeah.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
No spoilers for 30-year-old Beverly Hills Ninja.
But he's just like, he's like, I am one with the universe. I am one with the universe. She's dancing in front of him, and then he's like, I am not one with the universe. And then he starts like, the next scene is like him with his shirt off doing cartwheels and stuff like that. It's hilarious.
Amazing. Hilarious.
But that's on my end, man. What about you?
Yeah, it was actually a very, very eventful week for me. Kickboxing was good. I had to miss one day because my dog had to suddenly get 5 teeth pulled, which I wasn't expecting, and she was having a rough time. So I had to be with her on one day. And then, last night at kickboxing, I've mentioned it on here a couple of times, and I've talked to you and my girlfriend a bunch. I'm getting an amount of praise and comments and like. What do you call it when you say something nice to somebody? What's the word? I'm like compliments.
Compliment.
That is, I can't process it. I don't accept compliments well in general.
Beverly Hills Ninja 2 with you.
And it's happening to a point that's like, I don't know. It's me. I'm the problem. I'm not trying to say anything other than that I am the problem as far as like how I accept compliments, but it's happening at a level that's like, so I do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I missed Tuesday, which means that I didn't learn the things that everyone else learned on Tuesday. I go in last night, and the instructor's wife, who is like part instructor and part like student, or just there for the workout, but definitely knowledgeable enough to be an instructor, she singles me out and goes, "I want to work with John today." And she made sure everyone knew that. It wasn't like she was like, she made like a joke of like, if you'll accept me and all this, like she made something out of it. And then working with her was great. She was the perfect person to catch me up, you know what I mean? Because she kind of like busts me when I do stuff wrong and made sure I understand things and why I'm doing them. So I really appreciated working with her. And then at the end of class, going around asking everybody like, what's your favorite part? And she's like, oh, I loved working with John. And then she goes, whatever laundry detergent he uses, like, and then she's like, not that you guys all stink. And I'm like, what the like, now everybody's like, oh yeah, I guess he's the clean guy. I'm like, it's just I don't know. It's me. I'm being awkward about it, and I get it, but it's kind of strange.
Hey, it could be the complete opposite.
It could be, yeah.
And you could be in here and be like, why does everybody hate me?
Yeah, it could certainly be worse.
I mean, that's cool. I feel like that's that's like a shining tale of destiny. Why you're supposed to be there.
Yeah, and then I do watch a lot of movies, and this week I did watch a lot of movies because I had an extra night and things like that. Because of the podcast, which tends to be now a theme, is we talk about stuff that randomly pops up. It motivates me to then watch movies pertaining to that. You had mentioned last week Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yes.
Which sent me on a Jackie Chan quest. I had never seen Rush Hour. So, first I watched Jackie Chan Adventures, which you were right, it's awesome.
Cool.
Then I watched Rush Hour, which I had never seen, also awesome.
Never seen it. I need to watch it.
It's a good time. It's light fare. You know what I mean? It is.
I'm cool with that. That's the thing. Is like I need that at the end of the day, where it's like I just need to like unplug. You know, unplug.
So I would recommend it, but well above that, like well above that, would be Police Story.
I've heard that's legendary.
Is upper tier action movie and upper tier comedy.
Tubi? Is it on Tubi?
HBO Max.
Okay.
HBO Max, and it's Criterion Collection.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's It's a lot of people's like favorite
Dude,
Jackie Chan movie.
If somebody told me that was their favorite action movie, I would go, yeah, of course it is. If they told me it was their favorite movie, period, I would go, yeah, of course it is. It's that good, and it's genuinely hysterical. Like had me crying laughing, and it's all like 1920s like Buster Keaton gags, but they're so funny. Like so funny. Like I just absolutely adored that movie. And getting back to action figures, I actually went on a toy hunt this week. I had a day where I left work kind of early, and the kids are back in school, so you can actually roam the earth now without these little gargoyles being in your way. So I went myself on a toy hunt. I hit multiple Walmarts looking for J. Jonah Jameson. Found nothing. That collector's wall, the Hasbro wall, does not exist in the state of Texas, as far as I'm aware.
What do you mean?
I haven't seen it.
It's at the Walmart by our gym.
Where?
No, it's not. It's on the at the Walmart on I-35, kind of going north.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen it before. It was sad because it was like empty pegs, and then the displays were all fallen over.
Yeah, I'm not going there. I'm not bringing a gun to a scary Walmart for nothing.
Yeah.
Coming up with nothing. And I also went to Collector's Crossroads, which is, you guys have heard us talk about this place here in Austin before, which is like a 95,000 square foot mausoleum dedicated to all things collectible, and nothing ever changes or moves there. And I was there looking for G.I. Joes, because in doing research for today's episode, I got rededicated to G.I. Joes, fell in love with G.I. Joes. This happens to me like 5 times a
Now
year.
you're looking for classified.
I'm looking for classifieds, yeah. And I went there. I did find a couple, but I didn't pull the trigger on them because they were older versions of figures that have been updated.
Okay.
So
Anything else?
There was nothing new there.
God.
Nothing new there. So that was kind of a bummer. And then I went to GameStop.
Okay.
And I found this Striker, the retro card G.I. Joe classified Sergeant Striker, which is like just a throwback to a real American hero. I'm not sure if I'm going to open it or not. I'm like 50-50, because one of the things that got me really juiced about getting classifieds again was putting the card behind my display and getting some like pop out of it with either these retro card classifieds or actually going and buying on card 80s real American heroes, which is very, very expensive, but would look freaking phenomenal, right? So I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to open this. I'm like 50-50. I'm not opposed to opening it, and just keeping the card would actually look pretty cool too.
Oh, so sick.
Right?
Dude, if these existed, I guarantee you, if this G.I. Joe was around in 2003, 2004, I would have been
just
all in.
Madly in love with it. We've talked about this before. My relationship with the G.I. Joe Classified series is really weird, because whenever I think about cutting stuff, and I am going to tell you about something I've decided to cut, my brain always goes to G.I. Joe Classified, and then I can't do it. I can't pull the trigger. But I spend most of the time really not looking at them or caring about them.
You got to open this.
And then I don't know. I might open it before we're done here. I have no idea. And then when I do care about them, my brain goes into absolute overdrive, and I start watching G.I. Joe nonstop and like fawning over the figures and ignoring everything else. It's really weird. It's like this all or nothing headspace that I have with these. It might just be where I have it located in my room, because it's kind of off my radar.
You know, I feel like if you put kind of something similar to how I did with my Marvel Legends, where like I framed the comic books or whatever behind it, but it's like, yeah, if you did something like that, if you could like keep that card or like find artwork to like display behind it,
posters or something like that.
Yeah, make it, because it's like everything else is like this, the Marvel and wrestling, it's very celebrated. Like you have a backing on this shelf or on your detolf, right?
Yeah, inside the detolf for my wrestlers, I've got a backdrop that I got from that backdrop guy on Instagram.
Okay.
And it's custom
There
made.
you go. So like all of these things are like widely decorated or they're left in the box, but you have a bunch of GI Joes that are open, so I think you should follow suit. Open that, but then like maybe figure out how can you get some artwork to like display behind them.
Maybe that's what I might leave him on card until I get that, and then open it after that, because
that one is sick. The guns are sick.
To me, this backing, the Sergeant Stalker GI Joe Classified is like, if you were going to be like, it's not the best, but it's the most GI Joe, if that makes any sense. If you were like, okay, show this to an alien so that they understand what it is that GI Joe is, this is what you would show them.
And let them know that if they ever invade Earth,
you got Sergeant Stalker to deal with.
Yeah.
This is interesting too, because like he looks like he's probably 30 in the artwork.
Yeah.
And the figure looks like he's about 60.
It does age him a little bit, but
he looks like the sergeant from RoboCop.
It does, yeah.
So I got that in the door. I also got the 10-inch 2003 Justice League Flash, which
Gorgeous.
I think is probably the dopest one out of all of them.
Amazing.
They're all tied for first place to me.
Yeah.
Where
are they?
They're inside the hutch here.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm still waiting on Green Arrow, which I bought last week and hasn't shipped. So best of luck to me on that. Right before you got here today, I pulled the trigger on Martian Manhunter.
Awesome.
That actually completes my checklist, but I have decided I'm gonna get Hog Girl because she's literally on the box. She's part of the team.
Yeah.
And you and several other people were like, just do it. She's the most expensive figure. She's like $45.
Wow.
For the one I don't want. So I am gonna get it, but I'm going to do the unboxing before then. So if you guys are not following Mighty Champions on YouTube, I'm going to get all these together and I'm going to do a big unboxing and display on YouTube, so stay tuned to that.
Very exciting.
So those are my incoming figures.
Okay.
My outgoing figures, so getting stoked on G.I. Joe, bought Sergeant Stalker, watching Real American Hero, watching the animated movie, studying to kick your ass in this fantasy draft, and just loving living in G.I. Joe headspace. And I said, let me rearrange this display, see if I can make it something that I like a little bit more. And when I did that, what I realized was taking Duke and Snake Eyes from Super 7, the Ultimates from Real American Hero, out of the display so that it's only classified, because I'll be honest with you, I don't like these.
Yeah.
They're kind of crap. And it's something that I don't remember if we were like working together when they got released. The idea of them blew my mind. That somebody was going to take the cartoon, make figures of the cartoon, and make them look like the cartoon, and that they were Ultimates. You hear that, and the 6-year-old in me is just doing backflips. In execution, they're really bad. Mm-hmm. Like they're just plain and kind of hollow, and
they look cheap.
Yeah,
that's why I
very
remember
much not.
The first time I think you and I did like a Walmart trek. We went over there and you're like, I'm waiting for these to get cheaper. And I looked at the box first, and I was like, that looks like a weird like Dollar General type toy. And then I saw the price and I was like, my God, it was $55.
Yeah, they started at $55. I got these on like super sale. And then you compare them to like the Ninja Turtle Ultimates or something like that. They're just not. They pale in comparison. So I decided to sell these,
awesome.
the Snake Eyes and the Duke. Then I jump on Big Bad Toy Store. They have them each listed for $17 right now, brand new. So I might just hang on to them in a box somewhere. The $17 is not worth even putting the listing on eBay to me. And these are open, so I would get 10, and eBay would take half. So now you're looking at 5. So why bother, right? I might donate them. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could try, where, but we don't know if if they'll take them or not. But I feel like you could still get some decent cash, because I've never been like I know you go to Big Bad Toy Store, but I never go there.
Right.
I never think to go to anywhere else other than like, Amazon or
I'm checking everywhere,
eBay.
Man. I got a file in my phone that's like every online toy store.
Dang.
And I'll just do the rounds.
Yeah.
But
I think that's the right move. I feel like those, they stop at some point. You know what I'm saying? There's no point. And if you offload those, makes more space for the ones that you really want.
Exactly. It freed up space on my G.I. Joe. So, and then I also bought risers so that I can appropriately display these until I can get some new shelves or something. So, so that's where I'm at with figures this week. But let's talk about how the toy soldiers are doing with figures. If you're new to the show, we have got a segment that we call the Toy Soldier Figure Flashback, and that's where we want to hear from you guys about the toys that you grew up with, or maybe it's something from right now, but something you're passionate about that maybe you think we're not talking about enough, or it's just your thing and you want everyone to know about it. It might be Brimstone Love, and no one's ever heard of them, but you frickin' love them, so you want everybody to hear about it. So you guys can share your story with us about your toy that you think is special, and then we're gonna put it on the show, and we're gonna enjoy that with you. You guys can send a voice memo to the email mightychampionsafr@gmail. You can send me messages on Instagram @mightychampions, whatever works for you. But definitely get at us and share your passion for your toy. Right now we've got Sean who wants to tell you guys about G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero.
We grew up pretty poor out in the country in the 80s and 90s, and I don't remember many of the toys that we had when I was growing up, but what I do remember, and I fondly remember, is growing up with Rubbermaid bins filled with G.I. Joes. We had multiple, I think we had 2 filled with figures, and we had all the guns and all the accessories for the figures. And then we had some, I think we had 2 with vehicles, and we had the boats and Jeep and truck, and we used to line them up, and we used to have wars. We used to line them up in the field with firecrackers, old strings of firecrackers, and M80s, and we would have wars and blow them up out in the field.
That Joe's surrounded by cobras.
Yeah, but that Joe's Sergeant Slaughter.
He's joined the G.I. Joe team.
So we're celebrating by giving away Sergeant Slaughter action figures. But you can't buy them in stores. You've got to earn them. Here's how.
Collect 5 Sergeant Slaughter certificates or call the number on the certificate, and Sergeant Slaughter will tell you how to get in on the action with only 4 certificates. There's a $1 handling charge. See details in specially marked packages.
G.I. Joe. Nobody takes on cobras better than Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, Joe!
All right, it is time for the big stuff.
Before you do that, a big shout out to Joseph, I believe is his name. He sent a pretty cool voice memo about a couple other toys.
Yeah, he
kind of based off of the
followed up on a previous episode about toys that kind of didn't take off.
Yeah,
And
last week's
mentioned, like
episode,
Street Sharks and
Tiger Sharks.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, and freaking Rocks and Bugs and stuff.
Something like that, like some crazy obscure stuff. But
Yeah.
that was awesome, man. So we really appreciate you taking the time to send the voice memo, because honestly, we work together, so we both listen at the same time. So it was really, really cool to hear that. And yeah, if you guys have other things that you want to add or like want to touch on to something that we talked about, like, dude, hit up John, hit me up. I'm at X Life Coach X, and let's talk toys. That's like the biggest thing. Is like, let's get fired up on them.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. Okay, the Power 5 figure draft. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. I'm realizing we don't have a coin. So here's how...
I got a coin.
You got a coin? So here's how this
in my coin bag.
Here's how this is going to work. We have narrowed the field down to Joes only.
Yes.
So no Cobras. We're only selecting from the Real American Hero toy line. Like, what is it, 83 to like 93?
I think it's 80. I want to say 82 to, yeah, maybe something like that. But
yeah, but the 3 3/4 O-ring figures. And we are gonna go back and forth. We're gonna select a team of 5. Can't have the same person on our team. I don't know your strategy. You don't know my strategy. I don't know who you're looking to get. I don't know. You don't know who I'm looking to get. You want me to flip a dime?
I don't know if I had a quarter or not.
Do you have any idea what kind of bad luck that is?
Is it really?
I don't know. I might be making that up. Okay. We got a dime here. Torches. is you.
Okay.
Heads is me. Right?
Let's do it.
Call it. Wait, I just called it.
Okay.
Tails.
So that's me?
You got first pick.
Okay.
You've got first pick. And then what I forgot to mention was we're going to throw this to you guys at Mighty Champions. You guys are going to vote on who had the better team. I can tell you this before we start. I posed this question on the G.I. Joe subreddit, and it went off. Those people take this so seriously. And people answered instantly, and they have their guys. And they're like... There's certain guys that multiple people mentioned said, no list is serious if it doesn't have so-and-so.
Okay.
So you got to bring the heat, or else the G.I. Joe people are going to come after you.
Okay, and to reinstate, I was not familiar, like really super familiar with G.I. Joe, just having been more involved in toys and learning more about toys and a lot of videos and stuff through Toy Federation, which is an awesome YouTube channel. I didn't really know the characters' names, right? Never watched the movies, never watched like the cartoons. There was like a thing back in like the early 2000s on YouTube that was like dubbing over the old G.I. Joe cartoon. It was like a comedy thing, kind of like what they did with the X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
It was my only taste of it. So I'm coming into this, and I told John that I'm coming into this like essentially as a novice. And because I'm coming into it as a novice, I know that there are big characters out there that we know that we're both sort of tap dancing around. But I told John, my process is to go through and look at all of these and to make the decision as if I were, 8 years old in the toy aisle and never hearing of it, never knowing what it is, and looking at it and saying, that looks freaking awesome. I want this dude. Or if I found him in a toy chest, or if I found him in the park, whatever, and I'm like, this is amazing. So I'm going solely based off of that, not out of popularity, but what I believe to be the coolest looking character.
Okay.
Number one, or this isn't even in, I guess we'll just...
No, it's your first pick. With
First pick.
With the first pick in the 2025 Power 5 figure draft, Christian selects...
Tunnel Rat.
Oh, okay. Explain.
I just thought he looked sick, man. I love the idea of that. I don't know. I didn't really read too much on the character because on we were going off of the Yo Joe's website, I think it was. Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude,
Do you have a specific figure?
I should be. That's a good question. Crap, I meant to write down the series that they came from. I want to say it was 1985.
Okay, so that would probably be V1.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I could tell you that he's on my list. You definitely took him from me. And one of the like 3 or 5 names that came up when I posed this on Reddit, probably the one that came up the most frequently was Tunnel Rat.
No way.
So your diehard Joe fan takes functionality or specificity very, very seriously.
Okay.
And Tunnel Rat being the guy that's willing to crawl through sewage to get the job done.
I love that. That right there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I got from that.
That matters to people. All right. With the second pick in the 2025 Power 5 figure draft, John selects, you already know the answer, Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, okay.
Let's go. Really happy to have him on the team. I'm going with the first Sergeant Slaughter, the mail away from Series 5.
I didn't even put that one on my list. I was like, he's going to get that one.
From 85, the mail away. Let's be honest, dude. Sergeant Slaughter's a little bit divisive with the Joe fans because they view him as an outsider. They think he's a little bit OP. But here's the deal. I am a wrestling fan. I'm a massive wrestling fan. I don't care about Sergeant Slaughter the wrestler. I never have. Sergeant Slaughter the G.I. Joe is the man. I watched this fool take down 5 other Joes with ease in Arise Serpentor Arise. Then I watched him put a 10-piece on Nemesis Enforcer and cut a promo on him while he did it. He is the most BA G.I. Joe by far, and he's a drill instructor. He's the one that tells all the other Joes how to be Joes.
Yeah, that's
cool.
cool.
So I need that leadership.
So the one I'm looking at is Series 6, 1987, Tunnel Rat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that his V1? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yes.
Okay. Who's your second pick?
Okay, second pick. We are going with Law and Order.
Oh, so you get a dog.
I get a dog.
You get a dog. Okay. Yeah. Explain.
Again, I'm going based off of look, but I just thought he looked freaking sick. And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, with my second pick, I'm going Snake Eyes, and I honestly can't believe that he made it to the fourth pick. No part of me thought that was going to happen, and I am going to take the V2 Snake Eyes, the '85 Series 4.
Okay.
That's the one with the knight kind of mask. That's the one that comes with Timber. That's the one with the sword and the Uzi. Has there been a cooler action figure ever made than that?
No.
Hard to argue against that.
Yeah.
Let me just give you one word to summarize Snake Eyes. Ninja, military, wolf, sword, gun.
It's amazing.
Yeah, unbelievably cool. The movie Snake Eyes is a crime, but the character Snake Eyes is the man.
That is, I completely agree. I knew Snake Eyes was going to be on the table, and I wanted to challenge myself to learn more.
So my approach, just so now that we're kind of into this a little bit, is I now have leadership, and I now have covert operations.
Okay.
Taken care of. All right, who's your next pick?
All right, my next person, Mercer.
Okay.
Version 1. And it looks like he's part of the 6 Series 1987, and I guess he's part of the Sergeant Slaughter Renegades.
Slaughter's Marauders?
I think so.
Okay.
It says Renegade on there, but I just love the way he looks. Again, if I'm in the toy aisle, I see this guy. He's got he's dressed in red, and he's got a big pistol on his chest, and he comes with a sawed-off sort of shotgun looking thing.
Yeah.
Man, bad to the bone, baby. Bad to the bone.
Okay. You have really thrown off my plan.
Precisely what I...
You're reaching for Dak Prescott in the first round and making me scramble in the later rounds, because now my plan is really, really disrupted.
Okay.
And I'm starting to think there's some really important pieces that I can maybe wait until later on. But I'm going to go... Okay, I was planning to go into some other categories, but I'm going to actually stick with covert operations, and I'm going to stick with infantry, because I can get those and I can double up on leadership by taking Beachhead.
Okay. I'm
going to go with V1 Beachhead, another ninja, but a leadership ninja.
Cool.
An instructor. But also covert, and dude, the power of a green ski mask with all the military gear. I have always loved Beachhead, and the fact that he has a cool southern accent and stuff. Beachhead is just the man. So gotta have him. That was one of the other names that just people went there's no, you can't have a serious team without Beachhead.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So my next guy, very similar kind of design, but again, I'm walking through the toy aisle, and you know what?
What happened?
No, I think he's no, I'm good. Wait, hold on.
Is he taken? Did I take him?
No, I'm trying to think. He might be Cobra.
You treacherous trading SOB.
Son of a gun. He just doesn't seem like a Cobra.
Who is it?
Firefly?
Firefly's Cobra.
He's Cobra?
Firefly's Cobra.
All right, well then I'm out. Oh, he's got the freaking insignia on his arm. Son of a gun. I thought that was going to be my sneaky way of both in going for a Snake Eyes and a Beachhead or whatever. All right. Let's skip to you, and I'll get to the next one.
No, you got to make your pick, dude.
All right, well, then the next one I'm going is Falcon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I heavily considered Falcon because I like Falcon.
Yeah.
I think Falcon's cool. But then I watched the movie.
Okay.
And he's kind of a buffoon in the movie.
Darn it.
Then I found out, because he's voiced by Don Johnson.
Okay.
in the movie, not in the show.
Okay.
And I'm a big Miami Vice fan. Like, I love Miami Vice. And I was like, oh, sick, he's Don Johnson, like, therefore he's cool. Joe fan, like diehard Joe fans, take your actual like seriousness and how locked in you are. They're like, no, he let the Cobra. They're like, as though it's a real mission that is a real risk to real United States.
Yeah.
They're like, no, he was trying to get laid and he let the Cobra in. Like, F that guy. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess Falcon's off my list then. But
all right. Well, I didn't know that. I'm going based off the fact that
he looks awesome.
Yeah, he's a Green Beret. He's wearing the Green Beret. He looks like a something that would be like Rambo adjacent.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I went with him.
And his name's Falcon.
Falcon, you can't get better than that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, this is my fourth pick. That was your fourth pick?
I believe so.
Okay, with my fourth pick, I'm switching it up to heavy artillery because you can't have a solid squad without some heavy artillery. I have 3 guys that I'm gonna pull from that I have in my heavy artillery section. I thought for sure 2 of them were gonna be gone by now.
Okay.
So I'm really debating on this. I'm not going to say out loud because then you're going to take whoever I don't take. But I'm going to make a little bit of a controversial call here because the people who know Joe better than you do have already figured out probably who's on my list. And I'm not going with the one guy that's probably the most popular. I'm going to go rock and roll.
Okay.
Because his name is Rock and Roll.
Sick.
He carries double Gatling guns. Double Gatling guns. He's carrying 4 barrels.
Awesome.
And then I'll be honest, a lot of this has to do with the classified retroactively making me like rock and roll like from the 80s because the classified is so unbelievably awesome.
Yeah.
But for heavy artillery, I'm going rock and roll.
Cool. So this would be my number 5 coming up here. I'm surprised it hasn't been picked yet. I'm going Quick Kick.
Oh, Quick Kick is awesome.
Yeah. I'm like, there's just with who I am as a person, with everything that I've seen and done and lived through, everything that I've loved, it just makes no sense why I wouldn't have a freaking silent weapons ninja G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Surprised you didn't try to take Storm Shadow.
I just because I knew you had a plan in place for me going after like he's Cobra.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Making fun of you.
Oh, okay. No.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a solid pick for sure. Love Quick Kick. Again, that's another one for me where the classified made me appreciate him more.
Yeah.
Like in retrospect, because his classified is so good. Okay, I've got the last pick.
You got it.
Man, okay, so I have left on my list of people. I had expected by the time we got to the 5th pick, I was going to have to compromise and go after some role players. So I have Mainframe on here.
Okay.
I have Doc on here. I was kind of thinking you can't have a solid team without a medic. And I might still be thinking that, but Doc is a pacifist who doesn't like violence, and I don't have room for that kind of tomfoolery on my team. Let's see, I still have some heavy artillery guys. The guys who I didn't take before was Bazooka and Roadblock. Oof. Because those are highly popular characters. I'll be honest with you guys, I love Roadblock, but he speaks in rhymes. And I'm not going on missions with a guy who speaks in rhymes.
Yeah, you're going pretty heavily based off the TV show and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I don't have a lot of those references. I did watch it though.
There's no way I'm going on a mission with a guy who speaks in rhymes.
Yeah.
And I do love Bazooka, but he's kind of bumbling. You know what? On the off chance that whatever mission ends up anywhere near water, I'm taking Shipwreck.
Sick.
I'm taking Shipwreck. That gives me an animal that can match your animal.
Yeah.
Basically, Polly is your drone, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then Shipwreck's pretty versatile, land, air, and sea. And the voice actor, who I don't know their name, is trying to do a Jack Nicholson impersonation, and I appreciate that.
This is from the movie or the show?
Same. Yeah, same actors. The movie is just an extended episode.
Okay, because the show, my biggest takeaway was nothing negative other than I was like, is this the same voice actor for every character?
Mostly.
Okay, because it's basically just like hey, if I talk like this, and then the other voices are like, hey man, and it's just the same guy.
And everyone says everyone's name whenever they address anybody because they're selling toys.
Well, that's why I was like, the dude that had the right of might. I was like, kept listening in for like, what's his name? What's his name? And I still don't even really know what they were saying.
Okay, so who's your team? Who's your five?
My big five is number 1 being Tunnel Rat, number 2 Law and Order, number 3 Falcon, number 4 Mercer, number 5 Quick Kick.
Dude,
powerhouse,
solid.
Baby, powerhouse.
All right, my 5 is Sergeant Slaughter, Snake Eyes, Beachhead, Shipwreck, and Rock and Roll.
Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of proud of the fact that neither of us chose Duke, right?
Yep.
And I also think that this will spark an even greater conversation to be had because we weren't just going. At least I didn't feel like we were doing really too much of a generic approach.
Yeah, still left on the table. Flint is a big one.
I had Flint on my list.
Spirit's a big one.
I had Spirit Tracker. Yeah.
Bazooka, Roadblock. A lot of people like Low Light.
Okay.
Hawk. Like General Hawk.
Yeah.
Neither one of us I didn't even have them on my list.
No, I didn't either.
There's some big names out there. So definitely get at us at Mighty Champions. Vote on who won between Christian and John. Also, give us your 5. You can reuse what we use. Like, I want to know who's your 5 Joes. Joes only.
Yep.
We'll do Cobra another day for sure.
Yep, definitely.
For sure. All right. Get at us at Mighty Champions. But let's get to the news.
Well, LexCorp's going down. Whether it's me or Superman, who does it?
If it's Superman, that makes it news, and I'll be happy to print it.
All right, so we have actually got kind of a powerful news week this week. There's probably a less redundant way of saying that. There is stuff from absolutely all over the place. And as you guys know, if you've been listening for a minute, I don't categorize these, so forgive me if I'm kind of all over the place, but we're going to start with wrestling. Ringside News put up some pre-orders today as of recording, so you guys should be able to get after these pre-orders right now. They put up these are really interesting pre-orders from Ringside too, because a lot of these were previously Walmart exclusives, and we had kind of touched on last week. I think that Mattel might be like mad or unhappy with Walmart, and this behavior shows it. So they put up the clear John Cena Elite and the mobster John Cena Elite. So in this year of John Cena, I know a lot of people are hunting down various John Cena figures, so you could just head over to Ringside and get those right now. They also put up the entire Elite Series 122, which has Damian Priest, Io Sky, Brutus Creed, Julius Creed, Steve Austin, and Andrade. So from the main line, you can go over to Ringside and get those. In the Defining Moments series, which is a Ringside exclusive, they've got Cody Rhodes and Penta, and this is the Cody Rhodes from Saturday night's main event, the one with the Winged Eagle title. Awesome moment. I don't know if it's a defining moment as much as it's just like, that was cool. And then I don't know what this Penta is from, but Penta is... There's not any Penta figures that aren't awesome as heck. And then this one really caught me off guard when I saw this. They have put up the From the Vault series, which From the Vault is another way of saying re-releasing popular figures. They have put up an NWO series, which is the Disciple, who was a Build-A-Figure from the Monday Night Wars line. They put up Six, who was from the Monday Night Wars line. They put up the red and white Hogan, which was a Ringside exclusive. And then they put up the Great Muta, which was a Monday Night Wars line. So this is basically Mattel taking the Monday Night Wars out of Walmart and putting it on Ringside. Exciting because you get to get those figures, but interesting that there's something going on there between Mattel and Walmart for sure.
Yeah.
That pretty much covers the wrestling space. Did you want to talk about the HasLab?
The
Star Wars?
The Star Wars one, yeah. So we were talking about it a little bit yesterday, but the Star Wars, let me pull it up here. I got the name. I was actually looking at another one that I want to talk about.
The Vintage Collection Low Altitude Assault Transport.
No,
Gunship?
actually, I was looking at the Rob Liefeld figures that are like based off of Youngblood or whatever.
The Youngblood figures.
Dude. All right, we're gonna dive into that real quick, but those look amazing.
They do.
I'm like, that is an action figure. That is an action figure right there. If Marvel Legends now looked as good as those figures, like there's something about them that makes them look like they would be hanging at KB Toys.
So what we're talking about is the loose collector collectibles.
Yeah.
They got to come up with a better name for that. Youngblood figures. There's two figures, Shaft and Die Hard. They look insanely good.
Dude,
and also they unlocked a memory for me. There was a 2-week period in 4th grade where I learned about Die Hard and drew him every single day nonstop, and I think that I forgot about him and that I thought Deadpool and Die Hard were the same character for basically like until I saw this figure and had that like memory unlocked. Because Rob Liefeld does everything basically the same.
I mean, they look amazing. I've never read the Youngblood, didn't really know too much about it. I've seen them before, but I would almost consider just getting those because they look
so cool,
like action figures.
Yeah, they're available at Big Bad Toy Store right now.
I'm curious what they cost.
Yeah, but yeah. So I was talking about the HasLab Attack of the Clones gunship, which was. Is it still waiting for backers?
So as of right now, the target is 8,000 backers, and there's currently 3,932. It's $449, and there's 3 tiers, and I think at this moment, there's 0 of them unlocked.
Oh my god!
And they have 10 days remaining.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah. And
there's always a late push with these things, but that's pretty bad.
Yeah, this was I think displayed at San Diego Comic-Con, so it's been out for a minute, and I mean, I haven't seen anybody really be excited about it. I've heard other people say they also do not think it's going to get funded.
Man, they just overprice these things.
Mm-hmm.
God,
it is an amazing concept. I think it's so cool to come with, because it comes with like 3 different Jedis, I believe, and then maybe some other like little army people, some clone troopers. But yeah, I mean, maybe this might be a good lesson of just like, hey, $450 is insane, so it's gonna suck.
But if you want to make that happen, you could still go back it.
It's true.
If you're after it. Another thing I saw is that as of today, as we're recording, the Target Fall Geek Out has begun. I'm going to be real with you. I've lived through quite a few of these Geek Out events. I don't get it. I don't see it as an event. Basically, from my perception, it means come get your stuff that's already in stock at regular price. I genuinely don't understand what it is. But if you're excited about the Target Fall Geek Out, it has begun.
Yeah.
So you can participate
exactly.
in whatever the heck that means. There is from Jada Toys in their Street Fighter line, they just showed off a Cammy, the Player 2 version of Cammy. So those are like some of the dopest figures that are getting produced right now. So go check that out wherever you buy your Street Fighter figures. This is an interesting one. You probably didn't see this. Who makes this? I don't even know who actually produces these, but there are college football figures coming out, which basically are what I had dreamed about for the starting lineups.
Is that not McFarlane, or?
It's not McFarlane. It's a like independent that I don't actually know who it is. I meant to actually save that. So wait, maybe I did. Harvinger Studios.
Okay.
They look really good. I just don't see the market for it.
College football and toys.
Yeah, I don't see that there being a lot of overlap there. But they look really good, and they've got...
I mean, people take college football almost more serious than the NFL, if I'm being honest.
In certain areas, yeah.
Here, specifically.
They've got Army, Alabama, LSU, Navy. So if one of those is your squad, and they're kind of just generic players. But yeah, go grab those. These are really cool. Not really toy related, but maybe collectible related. Do you know about Bull Air shoes?
I've seen the posters or flyers for those.
So they make really like genre-related sneakers, and they're putting out a Spider-Man, a Carnage, and a Venom, and it's called the Maximum Collection. And like, if you like really kind of nerdy, genre,
but they're like Nikes though.
They look like Nikes. Actually, you know what? These actually have a Nike logo on them.
That's what I was asking, because I'm like,
oh, whoa.
Yeah.
I think maybe they're like customs.
Maybe.
I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, go check out Bull Airs Official and take a look at those if that's something that interests you. This is not toy or collectible related at all, but it's interesting to us. You and I have talked about it a little bit already. Jackie Chan's stunt team is going to do the stunts for Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Cool.
That's news, and that's awesome. Go watch Police Story and then anticipate that movie.
Makes me think that, I mean, obviously he's going to be doing some fighting, but I'm curious about who else is going to be doing some fighting in that movie.
Yeah. Speaking of Spider-Man, please tell me you saw the Bandai Spider-Man that is, I think, available for pre-order already.
You're talking about the SH Figure Arts, right?
Yeah, the SH.
Is that Bandai?
It's Bandai, yeah. SH Figure Arts is like the line.
Oh, it is Bandai.
Yeah.
Okay. I do think it looks amazing. I think the crotch looks weird.
It does look weird, but the rest of
the rest is the most perfect Spider-Man figure of all time. Like,
it looks like we use this phrase a lot. Like, it looks like the comic come to life, or the video game come to life. For sure. It looks like you can touch the video game.
Yeah.
Like the Marvel vs. Capcom video game. It's one of the coolest, like the paint colors, the shades, and like the level of gloss or lack thereof.
Big eyes.
The big eyes, the fingers being kind of gnarled up.
Sick.
Like the posability of it. It is one of the coolest action figures I think I've ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna get it because I don't collect that line, and because they're just kind of out of my price for figures. But if you do collect those kind of higher end figures, you can do no better than this Spider-Man.
Yeah, they recently had the Cyclops that came out as well, which looked pretty good. Same kind of weird crotch type thing, but I feel like, if you don't, maybe those are probably a little bit more for photography, because it's extremely like articulated.
Sticking with Marvel, they definitely waited until the moment we quit recording last week, and they showed off the Mysterio on the Spider-Man retro card Marvel Legends that I've been begging the universe for.
You talked about that on air.
That I wanted it.
Yeah. You're like, I'm going to wait for them to come out with that. And they literally did.
Basically, as soon as we were done recording, somebody sent me a message. It was like, here's this. And I was like, oh my God. So they're doing that, and then they're also re-releasing Strong Guy. Not re-releasing, he's been a Build-A-Figure before, but now they're going to do Strong Guy as his own figure. I believe those are both up for pre-order already.
Yeah, I think Mysterio is like Walmart exclusive.
Walmart exclusive, because my life. And then kind of lastly in Marvel news, this one kind of cracked me up. The this year's Marvel Unlimited Annual Plus membership kit, which is like, if you have the upgraded Hasbro Pulse kind of thing,
like subscription type thing.
Yeah, the Marvel Unlimited thing. The reward is a black suit Spider-Woman on the like not vintage card, and it is booty cheeks, and I don't mean that in a good way. I mean, it's just a repaint city black figure with big hair. Like, it's a pretty crap kind of incentive giveaway thing. So yeah, there's that. Okay, that pretty much wraps up the news. Let's do our hit lists.
Let's do it.
Young Bobby Engels has a problem. He needs to earn the respect of his peers. So he gets Sega Genesis, the ultimate action system. And then he buys Mortal Kombat, the arcade edition, and the all-new Shinobi 3, and Marvel's X-Men. Now, things are pretty much okay.
I said chocolate chip. Say it. Say it.
Okay, if you guys are new to the show, basically what the hit list is we're just talking about some stuff that falls into collections that we have already begun, and the things that are outstanding on our list that we're actively hunting for. Like things that if we see it in the wild, or if we see it for the right price on eBay, there's no doubt pulling the trigger. Gotta have it. Why don't you go ahead and start us off with yours?
All right. So first one on my list is going to be a DC Universe Classics. I'm looking at my shelf. My DC shelf is quite sad in comparison to the Marvel one. So I definitely want to bolster that collection up. But yeah, first one I'm going with the DC Universe Classics Wildcat.
You love Wildcat.
I love Wildcat. I love Wildcat so much.
You had a fantasy casting for Wildcat in the DCU that blew my socks off.
Mm-hmm. Sylvester Stallone.
Dude,
I mean, like,
oh my God.
It only makes sense, dude. It only makes sense. Like, if it didn't happen, I feel like that is what will start the apocalypse. Yeah, so I'm going with him. There's variants of this character, and I'm not sure which one I want to go with, or if I might just get both of them. There's just a black suit, and then there's like a gray suit, because like in the comics, like depending on like the shading of the character or whichever suit he's using, it's almost like a blue gray. That's kind of what I see a little bit more outside of the black suit. But yeah, man, he's been a long time coming.
Okay. I'm going to take things a little bit differently this time around. So I could talk wrestling. Obviously, I could talk Ninja Turtles. I could talk G.I. Joes. I could talk Marvel Legends. I could talk Super 7 Ultimates. I could talk my movie shelf. I could talk Predator. But what I decided to do, because I've had multiple people message me and say the little tiny drops and hints that I've made alluding to video games, that they're super up with me on the video game front, right? We got a lot of Genesis fans and Super Nintendo fans and that sort of thing. So I'm doing a video game, keeping it video games, but I picked and pulled and cherry picked out of my video game list the things that pertain to the figures that I collect.
Okay.
So starting with Nintendo, regular NES Nintendo, Batman. Just Batman. 1989 movie tie-in, NES game, Batman. The song Streets of Dissolution, one of the dopest tracks ever laid down across anything. One of the hardest games, I think, if memory serves me correctly, that like, I don't know if anyone's ever seen the end of it in the history of man.
Wow.
But it's that era of video games where it doesn't really necessarily look good, but it looks good for itself, if that makes any sense. Like Batman's purple.
Yeah, okay.
Instead of, because you can't make black pixels against a black background, but like the cover looks like the movie cover.
Cool.
Just so nostalgic. Even if I never even played it, I just need to have it in my collection.
Awesome. Down for that. All right, number 2, or the next one on my list. Sticking with DC, going with the DC Direct Alex Ross Batman. I believe it comes, I think it's with from what I saw, it's like a Through the Ages gift set. I don't know if it's like with other figures. I think it is. But this one, I'm totally fine. Same with Wildcat, totally fine with getting them loose. I don't need the box. So eBay searches, both not really crazy price. Wildcat, you can generally get for about $30. Same thing with this Alex Ross Batman, $22, something like that.
Dude, if they're in good shape, you got to do it.
Yeah, for sure. And with the Alex Ross Batman or the DC Direct, it's kind of just like it doesn't really fit with the DC universe, but on the top of my DC shelf, I have like a Superman Batman combo. Just anything that I like that is basically has to do with those characters, I'm just going to do it. I feel like with DC, I can be a little bit more flexible with, not necessarily just collecting, like, obviously doing specific lines, but I don't know, just things that when you would walk into like a WB store, which I think I've talked to you about this before, and maybe you did or you didn't, I'm not sure.
I didn't have a WB store, I had a Disney store.
Okay.
But I was obsessed with the WB catalog.
Yes.
Because again, tying it back to Batman, which may be, I think I bought the Batman movie comic book tie-in and it came with the catalog, or maybe it was the other way around, but either way I had that.
So that's exactly kind of what I'm thinking about, is like with the WB, so like the store is extremely nostalgic. The mall here in Austin used to have one. You would go in there and it would just, the smell would be different, the sounds would be different. They used to have like a Martian, what's his name?
Marvin the Martian.
Marvin the Martian spaceship type thing that you could like climb inside of and push buttons and they would make noises and stuff like that. Oh my God. Like, and they would have Batman and Superman logos everywhere and merchandise. And that's sort of the idea that I want to recreate, is just what you would see as a young kid. I love that. And that's kind of where I feel like the DC, I mean, obviously Alex Ross Batman is goated, but I kind of want to portray that in my collection room.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, that's rad.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm taking it to the Sega Genesis, my beloved favorite system of all time. And I'm going to go with Captain America and the Avengers. Awesome. Which is a side-scrolling brawler. It's just, again, it's less about the gameplay and it's more about the sights and sounds.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And just the
idea that something like that exists.
The principle of the matter. You know what I'm saying? I actually had my hands on it in Texas Time Warp.
Okay.
Inbox, complete inbox. I don't need it complete inbox, like $60 complete inbox. So I passed on it on that day because I just wasn't ready to pull the trigger for that. If I had just the game only, but with like a clean cartridge, I'd be totally fine with that. So I want to play it once or twice here and there, more so than to have it like complete. So that's why I didn't get it then, but it does make my list today.
Awesome. Number 3, or next one on my list, I'm counting down, I guess, or counting up. I don't know.
You're stuck in countdown mode.
Yeah. So my next one is going back into the Marvel shelf. We're going Marvel Legends Toy Biz Punisher, but it's the Series 6 Punisher, which I think is loosely or supposed to be based off of the Thomas Jane Punisher.
Yeah.
It came out in 2004. It looks like him, kind of.
Does it come with a comic?
It does come. Oh, they all come with comics.
What comic is it?
It's the one that has Spider-Man on the cover of it, I believe, with like the Punisher.
Like 126, like the
I
debut.
think so. Looking in the scope, I think so.
Interesting.
Pretty sure that's it. But
interesting.
Yeah, it's a really. I like the other Punisher better. That one I know I need to have because my friend had it back in the day, and I was so jealous of it. It comes with a like massive like helicopter, pull the gun off like Rambo did type thing, machine gun, and he has a trench coat, and the trench coat is like fake leather cloth type stuff. So that one is definitely on my list. It is way more expensive than any of the other Punisher Marvel Legends.
Because it looks like the movie.
I guess so, but it's, I don't know. Yeah, but like on average, you're looking probably anywhere of like 80 to 100. Yeah.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that one pretty vividly because I was, as evidenced by my tattoo, I was obsessed with that movie. And even though I wasn't really into figures at that point in time, I remember that one pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, next on my list is taking it to the Super Nintendo. So a little bit about me. I did not grow up with a Super Nintendo. I grew up with a Genesis. And I also grew up in the time period where you were one or the other and you disliked people who were the other one.
Factions.
Yeah, so I was a Genesis kid and I thought Super Nintendo kids were dorks. But then I grew up and I matured and I broadened my horizons and I got a Super Nintendo and I set out to play its games. And one of the games that I have never played. I think that I've seen video of it, but I might be making it up in my head. But I just need to play it. The Death and Return of Superman.
Awesome.
I think it's also a side-scrolling brawler, and I would presume that you end up fighting Doomsday. And that's just something I got to have in my hands. And again, I did touch this at the Chemical Toy Fair or Retromania, and I didn't pull the trigger on it, and I regret it. Like I need the Death and Return of Superman pretty bad.
You heard him, ladies and gentlemen. So if you got it, send it to his address.
Send it to him.
All right, so number 4, I need some villains for my Spider-Man shelf.
For sure.
Not really going for like a crazy heavy hitter, just one based off of like I just gotta have it because it looks awesome. But I'm doing the Spider-Man Classics Lizard, the classic looking Lizard. There's another one that's like almost kind of weird. It's just a different design, but I'm just going classic Lizard. white doctor trench coat, you know what I'm saying, like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's on my
And
list.
that's like he has like the longer kind of snout, and it's like super detailed, like pretty scary looking.
No, that's the one that I was just talking about. This one looks like the comic. The other
Just
one
like
is
shorter
almost
snout, kind of cartoonish.
kind of yeah, it's cartoonish, comic accurate. The other one has like where he's got like a fin on his head. He almost looks like a dinosaur. In a way. Yeah. But
okay.
this one is just a classic lizard.
Okay, nice. Lizard is also outstanding in my Marvel Legends.
Oh, whoa.
Spider-Man villain collection. But he's also the Marvel Legends one has 2 heads, and one of them is the head that you're describing, which is like the first appearance comic book version, and then the other head is like the animated series, like a little bit longer, flatter kind of thing. Okay, next up in my list, I'm going forward in time all the way to PlayStation 3. Which is where my classic game collection cuts off. I also have a PS4 and a PS5, but like those are just games to play, not a collection. And I'm going with WWE 2K question mark. The question mark is, I don't remember which WWE game was the best one on PS3. And it's actually a time period in wrestling where I was not enjoying my fanhood, largely to do with John Cena.
Okay.
But one of those games has to be the best one. So I need to research, and I need to figure out which is the definitive PlayStation 3 2K game. So maybe you guys can help me out. Like, hit me up at Mighty Champions. Which 2K game do you think was the best one on PS3? Which I want to say goes from 13 to 18 or something like that. 13 to 17. Somewhere in that neighborhood. And they used to change up the games pretty wildly from year to year, so they're vastly different games. The difference between 18 and 25 is virtually nothing. So, yeah, like the newer games barely change at all.
So was that the time frame that you were like not interested in?
No, I was interested. I just wasn't enjoying my fanhood. I played every single one of these games I'm talking about for the PlayStation 3. I just don't recall. I never went back to them.
Gotcha.
So I don't recall which one was the best one. But I want one, in the collection.
Just one in those.
I just want one that's whichever one is like still the most fun. And I just don't know which one that is.
Yeah, that's challenging. All right, so last one on my list. Sticking with Marvel just because I cannot get this one out of my brain. It is still on my eBay. There's 34 people watching it, so I got to pull the trigger soon. This one seems like it would be harder to find in person. A lot of these Spider-Man classics, like, I guess they're like rare to find in stores, but some of them are relatively cheap. But this one is a 2-pack. It is Spider-Man with Dr. Octopus. It's just I will say the Spider-Man is okay. You can kind of see he's kind of like
he's a little dark and beat up and kind of weathered.
Yeah, a little bit, but who cares? You can never have enough Spider-Man, and the Doc Ock is pretty rabid looking, but just the packaging alone is amazing.
Yeah, dude. I think you don't see a lot of those in stores because the packaging is so dope that it just makes people swoop them up.
If it was edible, I'd eat it. So
it looks like cake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Hey, you know what? For my birthday, Mom, can you do a cake that looks like this?
Is it cake?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's phenomenal stuff.
Yeah. So,
and you would open that.
Dude, that's what's hard about it. I would probably have to light some candles and then just like sit in a circle, do a quick prayer, and then rip it open.
I love that this podcast is just week after week of you going, you have to open that, and me going, are you going to open that?
I know. It's just like, to me, and I know other collectors are the same way, where, I mean, it's weird, because it's, speaking of factions, it's like there are people who just will like, okay, this is perfectly going on card. It's just like, that's all it'll ever need to be. And then there's people like me who just want to just tear it open and just smell that nostalgic smell that's there. But yeah, dude, for me, I'm like, that's the joy of it. It's opening it up, it's displaying it, it's feeling it in your hands, and then just like, I look at it takes me a couple days to throw away the box art. Yeah. I'll hold it, I'll keep it on my desk a little while, I'll come back and look at it.
Totally understandable, dude. We've known each other for a long time now, and you have watched me go through the ringer trying to decide whether or not to rip the box or not, because I just have so much appreciation for the art and the way that it looks as a complete package and that sort of thing. And there's a couple of things in here that I doubled up on because I just couldn't live without it. Like I love the art. And the art alone and the figure alone lose a little bit of something for me. But when you have the two things together, like this Sergeant Stalker G.I. Joe, you have these two things, these two works of art together.
Yeah.
I really struggle to diminish that.
You know, those you could keep on card and then just open the classified, right? Because that's not classified, or is that classified?
This is classified. This is just the retro. This is
the
equivalent.
I was gonna keep the retro card and then just open the newer version.
That's kind of what I was was thinking. Like, but so what they do with these is the retro card is the look from the Real American Heroes. Then the classifieds is like a sort of like that. It isn't identical to it, and I prefer the identical. So I'm in a little bit of a bind where. The idea that you just said, oh, just keep the retro cards on card. Yeah, but that's the figure. They're not crazy expensive. I could get another one of these, right? But then that poses the question, like Sergeant Stalker is not like my favorite character.
Yeah.
So do I? But yeah, it's just.
I'd say figure it out fast.
I need to get like tarot cards or something to make these decisions.
It's like you, where people go like they rent like a cabin in the woods to go like write the book or find themselves. It's you just debating on whether or not to open the toys, just hiking up a mountain, seeking advice from ancient
climbing
spirits.
A mountain with the blue flower to ask my one question of the shaman.
Exactly. But you know what's funny is I think it was. Like last December, I went and did like a little birthday trip to Houston, picked up like, 7 action figures, did a massive opening, and it was like really difficult for me to want to like throw away the boxes. And I was putting them in a bag because I was like, I'm just going to throw them away. In my apartment complex, we have like a trash room type thing where you just throw them down a chute or whatever. And I was like, I think I'm just going to do the boxes by themselves. And I was like, I literally thought to myself, if like somebody... the garbage man or whatever is just digging through and then just sees the boxes and somehow he's like, I remember those. Like, I'm not even lying, because it's like, I feel like if they saw the boxes, somebody somewhere down the line is going to be like, oh my God. I had a maintenance at my last apartment complex. I had my whole stack, and I had the maintenance dude came in here and he was like, hey man, I'm here to do the, oh my God. And he was like, bro, hold on one second, man. I gotta go look. Dude, this is speaking to me for some reason. I used to have this Wolverine. Man, where did you get that? Hold on. And I was like, take your time. I've
had multiple maintenance guys or whatever, air conditioning guy or cable guy walk into this room. And I say when I haven't had it. I wasn't here. I was at work. Danielle has had.
Oh, okay.
Guys come in here and go, oh my God, and then want to talk to her about something or everything that they see, and then she's like, I don't know, man, just fix the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like dumbfounded by it. I spent, I don't even know, 2.5 hours with the bug spray guy, the what do they call it? Pest control guy, after he was already finished. He wanted to talk to me about wrestling and wrestling in the South and like which specific figures, and I've had that happen a bunch of times.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a universal language whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, a guy on my baseball team asking about the podcast, and I was like, yeah, man, it's about toy collecting. He kind of just nodded a little bit, could tell like the interest was fading quickly, and I was like, what'd you play with when you were younger? And he said G.I. Joes, and then he just went off for about like 3 minutes straight talking about G.I. Joes, and I was like, and scene.
It's powerful in all of us. Okay, to wrap up the hit list, as much as I love rating and ranking things and quantifying things and organizing things, I've never really stopped and considered what is my favorite video game ever.
Whoa.
I just never really thought, because I'm always just on to the next, sort of. But I think that if I did sit down to make that list, the very first thing that I would write down is on the Nintendo Entertainment System, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game.
Okay.
I have this game in a collection. They put out a collection like last year, I think, on like all the modern systems, which is basically all the retro Ninja Turtle games collected into one, and you have the arcade version and the console version of the same games and Game Boy games and all this kind of stuff collected. And this game is in there, and I do play it regularly still, but I just feel like I need the actual cartridge to be a complete person. It really honestly has a chance to be my favorite video game ever.
Okay.
Like, it's genuinely a blast to play to this day. Just the best sights and sounds. You and I played a modded version of Streets of Rage 2 that had the Ninja Turtles put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Those Ninja Turtles are taken from this game that I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
And put into Streets of Rage. But I need, and honestly, I need Streets of Rage. I need Streets of Rage and Ninja Turtles as their actual games that they existed as, and I have them combined as a modded aftermarket thing. But yeah, gotta have TMNT too to call myself complete.
You have a destiny to fulfill.
I do.
After every episode, I feel like that's me telling you that, because it's just you unlocking these things that mean the world to you that you are denying yourself of.
It's not denying.
Yeah.
It's being distracted by the last thing that was my destiny to fill, because there's so many of them.
I'm telling you,
I was so many.
I was just thinking, I was like, man, we need to have there needs to be like for when you decide to open a toy, whether or not you are wanting to do it, you have like this poster on the wall that's just like some sort of Latin prayer that you say beforehand as just like, just like the way that like they used to
Vini Vidi Vici.
Yeah, like something like that, where like back in the day when they would make like a lamb sacrifice, it was like we are to consume this in its entirety. Like, just so that way you don't.
Yeah, I gotta get down on my knees, face north, thank Sergeant Stalker for his sacrifice, and then rip open the box.
Dude, the way that your connection to things is very much a 90s-esque movie story about, like, for some reason these things come to life and you're the only one that can help them. You know what I'm saying?
This is my adventure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. That wraps it up for this week. Definitely get at us at Mighty Champions. You can email us your Toy Soldier Figure Flashback Mighty Champions AFR@gmail. You can hit up Christian at
XLifeCoachX.
And we would love to hear from you guys. We want to know your top 5, your Power 5 G.I. Joes. So get at us, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace.
Is your mom there?
No, I'm home alone.
Well, you won a prize. What's your address?
42 Oak Street. Hey, Roblox, some stranger's bringing me a prize.
A stranger, huh? All he wanted to bring you was trouble. Remember, never tell anyone you're home alone, and never give anyone your address.
I'll say Mom can't come to the phone.
Smart thinking.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!